Hello everyone, I am Wilma Sokeng, Accelerator and Partnership Manager at the Toilet Board Coalition. We are delighted to welcome you to today's virtual event celebrating the launch of our latest report, Faecal Sludge Transportation and Logistics in Sub-Saharan Africa. This report, developed with the support of Agence Française de Développement, explores a critical but often overlooked part of the sanitation value chain, the transport of fecal sludge and the trucks required to scale solutions at these crucial points. As urbanization continues to across Africa, the need for efficient, scalable, and sustainable solutions to move waste safely is more important than ever. Today, we are joined by key partners from Agence Française de Développement and Pete Vidura, who are at the forefront of developing and implementing solutions in this space. Together, we will dive into challenges, opportunities, and innovations shaping the future of fecal sludge transport across the region. I'm really looking forward to hearing their thoughts and insights, and I'm sure you are also. Our discussion today will focus on the core findings of the report and practical solutions that can help scale transport and logistics system for improved public health outcome. We encourage you to share your thoughts and questions throughout the session using the comment box. This is a conversation we want you to be part of. In the event you have not yet had a chance to read the report, we have got a quick summary for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. It gives a fantastic overview of what we will be discussing in more depth today. So without further ado, let me introduce our panelists. We have Clément Frenou, Task Team Leader at Agence Française de Développement, and Nicolas Courias, Founder at Pete Vidura and 2020 Cohort Alumni for the Toilet Board Coalition Accelerator. Now, let's dive into the heart of today's discussion. Let's kick things off with the messy truth. What happens when we skip the fecal waste transport step in the value chain? So, Clément, can you start us off?
As a donors, AFD is an international funders and finance, project, and support national and international counterparts in this sector. What we see when we skip this segment in sanitation, it's that there is a key problem for the user in order to dislodge their latrines that have a strong impact on the environment, the local environment, but also the more general urban environment. There is also a key problem regarding the treatment of this sludge. Normally, most of the countries has developed project and infrastructure project in order to build up what we call fecal sludge treatment plants. And without private or operator that can collect the fecal sludge and transport these sludge, most of the fecal sludge treatment plants are not really used at the maximum of their capacities. Moreover, there is regarding the perspective of a funder, most of the entrepreneurs or operators that operate in this segment are private. And the key point is how to address the funding to these actors. It's not easy for the international donors to build up a financial product that is adapted to the private sector. And for me, it's the key point in order to improve the inclusion of these actors overall the general value chain of the sanitation value chain. Thank you.
Okay, that's a really important perspective, and thank you, Clément. So, Nicolas, can you bring this to life by sharing what that looks like at the community level?
Yeah, thank you. And to add on, I think what Clément has said, and also on a service provider's perspective, I think skipping this important step in the value chain, I think it will be like a public health disaster. I think it will be a public health disaster because, like in the community that we serve, majority, maybe more than 90%, they are peat latrines. And those, they have to be emptied once in a lifetime once they fill up. And with the now migration of this rural urban migration and people coming to the city, there is no space. Like once long ago, people once the pit latrine field, you could be able to dig another one close by. But now, when you don't have another place to dig a pit latrine, so it has to be emptied. And if it's not safely emptied and transported to where it's supposed to be, whether it's a designated disposal area or the treatment plant, it will definitely end up somewhere in the community, either buried somewhere or maybe thrown in the drainage system somewhere, because we have seen those cases. And poor sanitation and public health. I think we already know. You can be able to see the picture of how it will be. So it will be a disaster.
Yes, that really highlights the importance of having a fecal waste transport ecosystem really working. So from your perspective, why don't the truck we need exist? So what has been the purchasing process been like for Pit Vedura, Nicolas?
Yeah, one thing, and I know it highlighted on the report, is that this equipment for emptying, they are very expensive. And for a long time ago, when somebody is diving in this in sanitation, it's like that will be the last thing. Like you have tried a lot of things, and now I'm feeling, let me go to the sanitation. Maybe you have a truck, an old truck, and you say, what can I be able to do with this truck? Let's put it in sanitation, it can be able to end its life there. That's how you see that and actually we went to one of the meeting, the government official, and they quoted like they have never understood the relationship between old trucks and sanitation, because every time they see sanitary trucks, they are these very old trucks. But it's not that people want to have this old truck. Like for us, the process that we use, and we are looking at cutting cost, the process that you use for cutting cost, you have to go to, we cannot be able to buy them locally here. So you have to go to Dubai. And the Dubai that you usually go and look for used, but I think not effective, but used, but you can be able to it's cheap, and it can be able to do the work. And then you buy the truck, you take it to a garage, they customize it to your the way you want, and then you take it to a guy for the tank. They are going to build the tank, customizing the way you want, and then you ship the truck here. Because we also tried buying a already made truck from Asia. And once they come here, the first thing you do is to upgrade it. The ground the clearance. You find it's too short. The road that you are going to take it, they cannot be able to fit. So a lot of customization when you're buying a truck which is already manufactured, and this because they are being manufactured into that area, into that context of that area of manufacturing. You find like the truck in Europe, you know, and I've tried looking online, and I tried purchasing the spare part, and you find that the truck it is designed to pump up to 20 meters, 10 to 20 meters to where the septic tanks. Now come here in Kigali, I'm putting 150 meters. Tell me about how long that pump is going to last. But do I have an option? Don't have an option. Yeah, so it's usually a little bit tough, but yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Nicolas. It's quite a challenge. So Clément, unfortunately, Nicolas' experience is not unique. Could you share what you see happening across the continent in terms of these barriers?
Yes. The first point that is important to understand is that the market of sanitation that was developed in Europe. In Europe, most of the infrastructure are centralized. All is centralized. So the development of the on-site sanitation is really small. And the private entrepreneur, the manufacturer that can design, produce truck is really small also. It's a small market. In Africa, it's totally the inverse. In Africa, most of the infrastructure are on-site sanitation. It's latrines that need to be dislodged, as Nicolas said. And the market is huge. The problem is that there is a market, currently there is a market distortion between the offer and the demand from the private entrepreneurs. Private entrepreneurs would like to have simple truck, strong run, that do not have much maintenance, etc., etc. And these, I would say, the dream truck do not exist. And the only way is to buy a second-hand ones that are most of the time really old and that are totally not designed for the African market that is specific. It is why over these when we start to finance, we finance sanitation projects over the next for 20 years. We clearly see that there is a problem regarding this segment. If the private entrepreneur do not have an access to a cheap, strong, adapt product, we will not reach. Clearly, we will not reach the future SDGs regarding sanitation, because it's impossible to continue to transfer second-hand trunk from Europe, and sometimes from China, from India, etc. There is a positive things because there is a starting, I would say, work of African companies in Senegal, for example, that are start to think to how to build up and design, adapt truck for the private entrepreneurs. Why is so important? Because the business plans in this segment, it's mostly there is the cost of investment have a huge impact on the business plan. So if there is a too high cost of investment, it's not possible to recover this along the next 5 years or 10 years. So it's not possible. So the idea it's to build up a product, adapt to the African market in order that the future market will be evolved from the user and from the public that will treat the Faecal Sludge. Thank you.
Yes, so if I understand you correctly, we need to build up trucks that will be directly adapt to today's market.
Yes, exactly.
And the report shows that if we continue with the current trend of waste collection in Sub-Saharan Africa, the market may fall short by 50% of the estimated demand for vacuum trucks by 2030. Clément, let's start with you on this one. How can we match truck supply with the growing demand?
For the growing demand, there is several things that need to be designed. First, it's how to finance these actors. There is not only the entrepreneur that work on the dislodging market. There is also the constructor of the latrines that is really important too. So it's in our position from the donor, it's how to build up financial product. It's limited donors finance. So the first way is to build up, I think, the proper financial product that are adapt to the actors. The second things, it's also to accelerate the investments over the countries in Africa are at different stage of maturation of the sector. I take an example in Burkina Faso. The key question now is how to treat fecal sludge, because there is too much fecal sludge that are coming from the fecal sludge treatment plant, and it's not possible to treat all. So it's difficult to say this is the way, because in each country are specific. What it's pretty clear, it's that, and it's a good symbol for us. It's that most of the governments start to look at in detail and would like to invest in these strategy. So I means finance the on-site sanitation and all actors along the value chains. It's quite recent, because I remember 10 years ago it was not the case. It was not the case. Most of the government would like to finance centralized approach. Now it's like there was a switch, I think 5 years ago, and this will also incent the actors in order to invest in this sector. And that's all for me.
Thank you. So that's really promising to hear, Clément. So let's hear from the entrepreneur. Nicolas, if that alignments of supply and demand come into place, what kind of impact would that have on your business and your abilities to scale?
I think one thing is that those households of mine, the one that we serve, the one who have to wait about 2 days after they request the service, because they have to be put in schedule, because I'm only using one truck, they can be able to get a quick service. And we have been trying a lot to tap, because the demand is there. And I believe a report like this is very good and very insightful. That's going to be able to amplify like the demand and hopefully attract investment to this Faecal Sludge logistic. But even like currently we have been trying to expand our services to other secondary cities here in Kigali, but very hard to do when you have not even tapped the full market of where you are operating. Because it also pains, like, people have used to calling the service provider when they appear to think they are full. It's like an emergency service. Yes. And when somebody has to wait 2 days because there's somebody who called earlier and they were put on the schedule, it really bothers us. And when it comes also to the truck that you are using, you see, if the truck is consuming all the money that you have gotten from the customer, truck consuming one liter per kilometer, and then break down a couple of kilometers going to the dumping site, then we spend all the money. So you don't have like you don't have chances of growing from where you are. Just mark timing, mark timing, mark timing. So I think with this kind of investment, you know, like these Fredere, even if it's these are Fredere loans, you know, some banks here, they are like the loans, they are, and the interest rates, they are not favorable to someone to try to in the sanitation. So, you know, these financial models, like for us, I would see like us being expanded to the other cities easily, maybe moving even outside Kigali. And more of so is the households when they call for a service, they don't have to wait for 2 to 3 days to wait in line. They can be able to get a quick service, because if they don't get that, now that start causing problem, and that's why the transmission of these diseases comes in.
Exactly. So now let's turn our attention to the innovations we need in this space. The reality is that the current drugs offering are both too expensive and not well suited to the market context or the growing demand. So this leaves us with a significant gap that needs addressing. So what innovation breakthrough do we need to bridge this gap? So who wants to go first, Clément or Nicolas? Let's start with Clément.
Okay. For me, as a donor, and also it's explained the partnership with the Toilet Board Coalition. Our tools are not adapt to structure a market like for the truck. So this is important. For me, there is two things. There is an innovation regarding the design, the way also to import this truck in Africa, the way also to see if it's possible to have an advantage regarding the taxes, etc., because it's also a public services, even if it's managed by the private or by a public operator. And for that, it's a bit far from the normal activities of an international donors, and it's the private markets that need to be organized for that. Seeing also the huge market potential that there is in Africa. This is the first innovation. The second innovation, it's the financial product for me. I mean that in order to structure the private sector, most of the time, it's the access to finance, even if it's on loans, on grants, but it's mainly on loans. Most of the banking sectors do not have the tools in order to assess the quality of a business plan, in order to see that it's not finally a risky market. It's not risky. And our role, I think, from the donors, it's to support these banking, public or private, it's bank, in order to structure the tools in order to assess the risk, and also build up the proper financial product. So I mean, a good financial product, it's an interest rate not so high, maturity of the loan quite long, about 10 years normally, I would say, in order to fits the capacity of reimbursement from the private or from the lenders. And also what is really important, and that most of the time the people forgot, is the guarantee. Because the key problem to access to finance is the guarantee. I mean, the guarantee, it can be mortgage, but it can be also the truck. If you have mortgage, if it's only mortgage, there is a key problem from the private entrepreneur to access to finance. And there is large activities in order to minimize the level of guarantee that are a requirement for the bank in order to give loans. And the third one, and it's how to well support all of parties along the value chain. I mean, the user, the private entrepreneurs that build up the latrines, or also the public ones, the private entrepreneur that manage the truck, or the public ones, also the operator of the water treatment plant, even if it's managed by the public or the private, and also the reuse of the fecal sludge. That is also another way that need to be supported, and all of that need to be support with funding, technical assistance in order to evolve this sector. Thank you.
Nicolas, let's hear from you now.
Yeah, I think Clement sums it all. But I will talk about the financial. The financial. I think there have been a lot of investment, in the containment, in the containment part. This a lot on the containment, and also there's now another huge budget which are now doing on the treatment. I have some evidence, not evidence, but of some. We find where there's a very fancy treatment, but there's no sludge which is going there. They just forgot the whole thing of how the sludge is going to get there. So the transport is critical, and there are some people who have tried, but there is no this financial model which are favorable to this person who want to go to another level. You see, like the requirements, if you're going to get that loan, the interest rates, they are not favorable. So I think something financial model of SASO to be able to focus on these people who are doing who are doing the emptying and transport. And I think I don't know when I saw I don't know which country in Africa they did truck upgrading. I don't know. I don't remember the country which they did a truck upgrading model like that. They have financed this truck upgrading because that's going to attract the other people, because most of people do not see like the business. Maybe they are trying to see it now, but they have not been seeing the business in sanitation, and that's why the risk you go to the bank, they are like, no, they don't see like their business, in what you are doing. Are you able to pay this? But if you're still consuming all the money that you are getting with maintaining your trucks, you're going to use all the money. You don't save anything. That's why I think a favorable financial model targeting like this sector. That's the innovation I would hope for.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and insights today. So this conversation has really highlighted the significant demands and market potential in fecal sludge transportation and logistics in Sub-Saharan Africa. Our study shows that nearly 50,000 new low-tech and tropicalized trucks are needed to meet the specific needs of the region, with a market potential ranging from $7.47 billion in the trend scenario to $14.27 billion in the 2030 target scenario. Today's discussion has not only underscored the challenge we face, but also the tremendous opportunities for growth and innovation. It's clear that achieving Sustainable Development Goal 6 by 2030 will require collaboration across industries, governments, and organizations, and your participation today is a crucial step toward that goal. We encourage you to download the report, continue the conversation, and stay engaged with us as we work towards improving sanitation for all. Thank you once again for being part of today's event. We look forward to continued collaboration.